Hey guys, we're Kitties and Killstreaks. Well, that's the name of our channel anyway. I'm Panther.
And I'm Pro. Our channel is going to feature weekly streams. At least once a week we'll be streaming. And we're also going to be uploading videos to YouTube once or twice a month. Our videos are going to contain content of video games you don't typically hear people talk about. Some hidden gems, spotlights on games that, you don't typically hear people talk about. We want to highlight those games. And as you can see, we also have some cats.
Yeah, so we've got two adorable little kitties. We have one polydactyl cat named Zara. And by that, I mean she's got extra toes all over. And we've got Pepper, and he's a sweet little Maine Coon, super fluffy, and yeah. They'll be sneaking in and out of the videos, so make sure you've got your eyes open in case they make a cameo.
Mm-hmm. And now that we got the intros out of the way, let's talk about our first game of our first video, which is My Friend Pedro. My Friend Pedro is a 2D shoot-'em-up platformer that's developed by Dead Toast Entertainment and published by the well-known Devolver Digital. There's a few other games that they've made that have been really good lately in the past few years. The plot of this game seems like you're just following directions from a banana named Pedro. However, without getting into any spoilers, it gets a lot deeper than that. As the plot twists and turns, so do you, as you jump acrobatically, dodging bullets throughout the 2D landscape. There's also some really cool features in My Friend Pedro. If you have dual wielded weapons, so let's say you pick up 2 pistols or you pick up 2 Uzis, and you walk up and there's a group of enemies right in front of you. You can jump and individually target different people with both hands. So you can right click with and target one person, and then left click with the other weapon and shoot different people at the same time, which is a really cool feature. Not only that, you can utilize the slow-mo feature. So when you're jumping and shooting all these people, it has a really cool effect that you can, you're shooting people, you can do a twists in the air, dodging bullets. So the gameplay is extremely fun. So, with all the non-stop bullets and enemies that you have in My Friend Pedro, it really reminds you of the non-stop action in the SNK classic Metal Slug, which I have going in the background right now as we speak. However, the difference between My Friend Pedro and a game similar to the Metal Slug series, or maybe even Shock Troopers, is you get a much deeper plot. And it evolves throughout the game, throughout the story. You'll be thinking that, okay, it's just kind of a straightforward game, but it gets deeper and deeper, and all these twists come into the game, which makes it really entertaining to play. It was one of those games where I kind of fell in love playing it. I wanted to keep playing to see where the story went, which is interesting because on its face, it really just looks like a kind of an arcadey type of game. So, some other factors that distinguish My Friend Pedro from other games like, Metal Slug, Shock Troopers, is the puzzle elements that you have. So, you could run and gun through the game, on easy mode, holding down the fire button, and that would be perfectly fine. You could do that. You could beat the game. However, at the end of each level in the game, you get a grade. You get like a style point, similar to the Devil May Cry series that originated from Capcom. So just like Dante in Devil May Cry, you're jumping around trying to get the most stylistic kills, which really adds a ton to the replayability of this game. I've completed this game, I beat it, but I definitely someday am going to replay and try to get the best score. So it's when you talk about games, the replayability is a huge factor, because if you play it once and it just sits on the shelf, obviously the ones that you can pick back up are usually more meaningful. And some more factors that are really cool about it are just the interacting with the environment, the levels themselves. So you'll approach a bunch of enemies, for example, and you'll be like, okay, well, I could just hop up on this ledge, get a good angle, and kill them. But you'll also notice that, well, there's a frying pan about, a few steps in front of you. What happens if I shoot that? You shoot it, goes up in the air. Okay. Well, what happens when I shoot the frying pan, it goes up in the air, and I use the frying pan to ricochet bullets across and kill all the enemies? It's things like that that makes my friend Pedro incredibly fun. There's also elements like they add, you can slow-mo down a zip line while you're shooting, people. You can break glass. Like I said, the puzzles, there's, different levers you have to pull to access different enemies. So my friend Pedro, I can't say it enough. There's many different levels to this game, no pun intended. It's really a great game. So I'm not gonna lie, this game is pretty violent. There are the puzzle elements and the strategical elements that are in the game, but you're pretty much running through the game killing a ton of people and shooting them in the head to get the best score. So I'm going to be honest there. However, it's not anything to the point that it gets ultra gruesome like fatality in some of the newer Mortal Kombat games. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. You don't see any person getting torn in half or their spine getting ripped out. So nothing like that. I was, thinking about this video and, how I would describe this game. And it's kind of like a combination between like John Wick and Mega Man. Because, it has the Mega Man elements, there's some platforming elements, 2D, one side to this side. It's not an open world type game, but it's like John Wick because you're dual wielding Uzis and pistols and just taking out all these bad guys. So, it's not anything that I would let your little brother play that's in elementary school, but I don't off the top of my head remember what it's rated, but it's nothing anything like something that's going to gross you out watching. There is blood, but nothing to the point of it, making you want to throw up. What I'm trying to say is it's pretty cartoony. It does consist of nonstop violence, but when it even comes down to the bad guys, they're like bad guys you would see in like a old cartoon. I think this game, I'm not sure, but it seems to have like it appeals to like a British audience. And the reason why I say that is because like when you do something cool, it says things like I can't think of it off the top of my head, but instead of saying like, oh, cool or like nice, it has like proper or like other things that, I would think people would say in Great Britain. So I'm not sure if they did that on purpose, but it kind of has like that British vibe. And so the bad guys have like, like Adidas tracksuits, like zipped up with like sneakers on. So kind of has that like European style vibe too, which is kind of cool. So I played this game on my PC, my laptop, which runs Windows 10. It's a pretty new laptop, but I don't think you really need anything too high tech or high performance to play the game. But you can also play it on the other main consoles that are out: Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. So honestly, I can't recommend this game enough. It's a type of game that I don't typically play. I'm really into RPGs, open world kind of games, but this game was a game from beginning to end, I was in love with. And like I said earlier in the video, the replayability with this is very high. Without a doubt, I'm going to play it again. It's really one of those games that you don't just rush through it to beat it. You kind of like take pride in it. Throughout this game, I was taking game clips, recording clips of me, doing certain things that I thought were super badass, and I would even beat a level and then redo it just because I wanted to get a higher ranking or style points. So My Friend Pedro is a game you should definitely check out. I can't recommend it enough, and you should give it a shot.
You guys can catch us streaming weekly on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.